Hey guys, so today I'm going to tell you about how to read Navamsha chart, okay? I will tell you 10 rules that you have to follow while reading Navamsha chart, and if you follow these 10 rules, then you will be able to clearly know what kind of married life you're gonna have and everything about your marriage, okay? So basically we're reading this chart for marriage, and it's read for many things because Navamsha chart is the first most important divisional chart, okay, and it tells many things about your life, and it gets activated after 30 or in the middle age of your life, okay. So birth chart shows like what kind of life we're actually going to have, okay. It gives just a glimpse of the karmas you're bringing from your past life, but the results of your karma, whatever you are going to bear in this life, whatever you are going to face in this life, is told by Navamsha chart. That's why Navamsha chart becomes really important, okay. So if you want to know what kind of fruits you have brought from your karmas of your past life, then you will have to see your Navamsha chart, okay. So Navamsha chart is very important, and if Navamsha chart is denying any kind of yoga in your chart, for example, if you have Raj yoga in your birth chart, but a Navamsha chart is denying that yoga, then it will not get fructified, okay. So Navamsha chart is important to see overall what kind of life you're gonna have, okay. If your birth chart is saying that you will have a good married life, but if Navamsha chart is denying that thing, then your married life will definitely have ups and downs, okay. And if you have a very much afflicted 7th house in your D1 chart, but in D9 chart it's better, it's not afflicted, then you will have a good married life after facing some problems, ups and downs. You will have a smooth married life, so it's very important for marriage, okay. Only by seeing the birth chart we cannot tell anything about marriage. We can only tell some things which may or may not come true, but Navamsha chart will actually tell you what's really happening with your married life and your life, okay. So let's see this 10 rules that will tell you about how to know your marriage. So first rule is you have to check your ascendant of your Navamsha chart. Which sign is sitting in your Navamsha chart? It's a benefic sign or it's a malefic sign. If it's a benefic sign, then you may get married early and you may not face a lot of problems in your marriage, and you will have a smooth married life, okay. If you have a malefic sign there, then you may marry late, or you may not have a lot of interest in getting married, or you may have to face some troubles after marriage or before marriage, okay. If it's Saturn sign, so obviously delay will be there. If even Cancer is there, then also there will be delay, because Cancer has Capricorn as its like opposite sign, okay. So this is the thing. And Scorpio sign shows that you have a past life karmic connection with your spouse. So malefic signs do not actually decide what kind of married life you're gonna have, but it only tells that you may get married a bit later, or you may face some problems in getting married. Okay, so this is the rule 1, and now rule 2. If you have benefics in your first house, it shows that you will have a good marriage. If you have malefics, then it shows you will have ups and downs in getting married, or you may get married late, or you may have to face some broken hearts before you get into a right relationships, okay. For example, you have Taurus rising, it's a benefic sign, okay, it shows a good marriage. But if Ketu is sitting here, so it may show a lack of interest in marriage and all, and some of the ups and downs you might have to face, and it also shows a karmic connection, okay. So I mean to say, malefic influence on your ascendant is will tell you that you will have to face issues and obstacles in getting married, or maybe after marriage. Then third rule is that you need to check your ascendant lord of the Navamsha chart where it's placed, because it's the whole base of your chart. Ascendant is actually the base, so ascendant lord should always be well placed. Okay, so ascendant lord should always be well placed. If your ascendant lord is placed in Trikona or Kendra or in 11th house or even in 3rd house, then it's good, or even in 2nd house, it's okay. But if it's placed in your those 10 houses like 6, 8 or 12, then it's really not very good for getting married. If it's in 12, then make sure that you may have to marry a foreigner or something. So these are some chances, but it shows that you may get problems, obstacles in getting married, or after marriage you and your spouse may have some kind of disputes or ups and downs, transformations may be there in your marriage. Okay, so ascendant is the base. It will decide overall things related to your marriage. Now the fourth rule is check your 7th lord of D1 placement in your Navamsha chart. If your D1 lord is not well placed in your Navamsha chart, the 7th lord, or it's placed in those 10 houses, then it may it's not really good for marriage. If it's placed in your Trikona houses or in Kendra houses, then it shows a very good marriage, a prosperous, long-lasting marriage, happy marriage, support from a partner, and financial prosperity, everything, children, and you will get all the happiness of marriage. Okay, so it promises marriage. If it's placed in those 10 houses, it doesn't mean that you will not get married or you will get a divorce or separation. It just means that you may have to go through some karmic debts, because marriage is a karmic relationship for you, and you have to pay off some debts before you get into marriage or marry your partner. Okay, or maybe after marriage. And then the fifth one is check your 7th lord of a D9. Okay, where it's placed. It should also be placed well placed. Okay, and if it's very good, then like 7th lord of both are same, then it's very good. It shows a really very good marriage life, and you may get married to the person you desire. Okay, so if 5th and 7th lord are get together, it shows love marriage. Okay, and then the 6th rule is you need to see Venus placement. Venus placement is very very important, because Venus is the base of this chart. So Venus should not be placed in 6th, 8th or 12th. If it's placed in 12th, it shows that you may go abroad after marriage, or you may marry a foreigner or someone from other culture, or these things are there. So it shows these things. You may go abroad. Okay, but it doesn't mean that you will have problems in getting married. Actually in 12th house it's not that bad, but it shows this kind of spiritual relationship with your partner. Maybe your life transforms into spirituality, or if you go to foreign lands, it's better for you for your marriage than staying in your home country. Okay, if in 6th house, it shows you have to pay a karmic debt, and there may be kind of ups and downs, disputes, etc. In your marriage. Okay, 8th house, it may show that your partner may be hiding something from you which you may not know about your partner, or you may have to go through a lot of transformations. Okay, and now the 7th rule is check Rahu Ketu placement, because Rahu Ketu becomes very important in the Navamsha chart. Rahu Ketu tells you about your past life connection, the the string that's holding you in this life and that connects you with your other past lives. Okay, Ketu tells you about your past lives. Ketu is the planet that will tell you what kind of past life you have lived and your karmic connection with the people. So if it's placed in 1-7 axis, then it shows you have a very high karmic connection with your partner, and you have to pay off that debt to your partner in this life, okay? If it's placed in 9th house, it shows that you may need a partner who is really perfect for you, and you will always be searching for the right partner for yourself. So it shows these things. And in 6th house, if Rahu is placed, it may make you someone who always holds the grudges and is not able to forgive your spouse. If you both have the fights, okay? If it's a Scorpio, then you don't speak, but you hold that grudge in your heart, and then later on, when really your heart is really filled up, you pour all that thing. Okay, so Rahu Ketu placement is really important in this case, okay? So check where your Rahu Ketu is placed. It will tell you what kind of karmic connection you are bringing with your spouse in this life. And the 8th rule tells you the Malefic influence on your 7th house and your 7th lord of your Navamsha chart. If it has any kind of Malefic influence with Rahu, Ketu, Saturn, Sun or Mars, then it will create problems and disputes after marriage, or there may be problem in having that adjustment with your partner. So, but it doesn't mean that your marriage will break. Every marriage has one or two problems. There is no marriage that is without any problem, okay? So don't be worried about it. You have to see the whole chart. But if you have any kind of Malefic influence, then be careful, as it's not really very good for marriage. If Sun is here in 7th house, it will give you a partner who is very authoritative, or it also means that you're not very interested in getting married, because Sun, burns the qualities of the house it's placed in. So somewhere it will bring lack of harmony in marriage. Now you need to check 9th rule, in which you need to check your 5th house of Navamsha chart. Okay, you need to see which planet is placed here and how is your 5th lord placed. Because 5th house is your luck and your intelligence and your purva punya. So this house should be well placed, and it should not have any Malefic influence, because it brings a kind of disturbance in your intelligence. Like, you may not be able to deal with your marriage with patience. If Jupiter is here or Venus or Moon are here, then it's really good, because it also shows that you may gain favor from your spouse. But if you have Malefic planets, then please be careful, because if you have any kind of fights or disputes or quarrel with your partner, then you may become the person who is not able to understand, or you may not use your intelligence to deal with the matters of marriage with patience. You may become too much angry, or you may shout too much on your partner, or you may not be interested, like Ketu is here, you may not be interested to solve the matters, and you may keep quiet. That is not good for marriage. So Malefic influence on 5th house is really important, either by aspect or by the planetary placement. And 10th one, if you want to check your longevity of marriage, then you need to see your 8th house. If Saturn is placed here or Saturn is aspecting, that is really good, because it will give you long-lasting marriage. Even if it's with your 7th house, then also it will give you long-lasting marriage. So Saturn causes delay. Saturn may cause a temporary separation as well, but it will never break your marriage. And if you realize the worth of marriage, if you respect marriage, if you value marriage, it will give you a long-lasting marriage, a good long life to your spouse. Okay, so Saturn is that planet. It's really good for having a loyal partner and a good partner. Okay, the last rule, this rule is your Ascendant Lord of your D1 chart placement in your D9 chart. Okay, it should also be well placed in Kendra or Trikona. If it's placed in 6th, 8th or 12th, it shows that you may have some kind of problem in your marriage or in your life. You may have to face obstacles, and things may not come very easily to you, and you need to work hard for getting anything. Okay, and if one more thing I want to add, if your ascendant is hemmed between malefics, then you may have to work really hard to gain like any kind of luck in your life. Okay, you may really need to work very harder. Okay, so these are the things. Okay, now let me tell you about the houses. First house is yourself in marriage, what kind of marriage you will have, the base of marriage, and your conduct in marriage. Second house, the wealth you and your spouse will have. Okay, your in-laws and savings, your family that you will have. Third, your short journeys and communications with your spouse. And fourth is the luxuries that you and your spouse will accumulate, the peace, mental peace that you both will have, your homeland, and if you will make a home together or not. Fifth is intelligence and luck of your overall marriage, what kind of luck both of you will have in marriage, and your intelligence of dealing with the matters of marriage. Sixth shows the obstacles that may come in your marriage. Seventh shows your partner, what kind of partner you may get, everything about your partner. Eighth, longevity of marriage and also a longevity of your spouse. Nine shows the luck of the marriage. Will the marriage last long? Will the marriage bring luck in your life or bring problems in your life? 10th shows the karma both of you have to do together. 11th shows the desire fulfillment through this marriage. 12th, the end of marriage, the end of you. Also it shows the bed pleasures you will have in your marriage, the peacefulness and sexual things also can be seen. So these things. One more thing, if Ketu is there in 8th house in Navamsha, then it may bring lack of satisfaction or like lack of interest in sexual things. Okay, now one more chart I have of a person. He is married but his married life is not good. See the Navamsa chart. Okay, his 7th lord of Devan chart is Saturn and it's placed in 8th house in Scorpio. Okay, so this is not that good thing because it's in Scorpio, and he has Mars and Venus in his 7th house. Mars is not good in 7th house as it's making Manglik dosha, and it's also a lord of 8th house. That's why. And Venus is the lord of 2nd house. 2nd house. Now, if we count from Taurus, it is coming 6 places away, so that's why it's causing like disputes. His married life is not that bad, but it is, just there are kind of like fights and disputes are there because Venus is here and Mars is placed here, that's why. And he's also having Papkartri yoga with 7th house, so they are not having any kind of breakage or something. It is just that there are some kinds of fights and disputes, so it's a Malefic influence here. And in his Devan chart also so many planets are here in the 7th house, so benefics planets are not really good in 7th house because it creates problems. Okay, and it's like Karapав Nasha, so they're not really good place, but it has a good career. The 7th lord of Devan is also in 4th house in Scorpio with Mars, and Mars is also aspecting, so it's because of Mars they are having a kind of these things. So this is the way how we need to see Navamsha chart. I hope you really enjoyed the video, guys. Don't forget to subscribe and bye bye.